Hello, so welcome to this Athena member interview. My name's Kate Cherry and I'm the Regional Director of the Athena Network in Bedfordshire and St Albans in the Hertfordshire area. And I'm joined here today by Elena Kale from Inspired Marketing and Media. Hi, Elena.
Hello.
Lovely to see you. Thank you so much for coming on. I think this might be the second time we've done this because you've been a member for a number of years now with Athena, haven't you, in the Woburn group. So it's
Yes.
brilliant to get back online and catch up with you and see what's new with you and help basically other people who are not part of our network to understand a bit more about your business, what you do, how you serve your customers, and your background and some tips. So I'm going to jump right in and say, tell me, what is your business and how do you help people, Elena?
So what do I do? So my business is called Inspired Marketing Media, and funnily enough, it's a marketing agency. And essentially, I work with small to medium-sized businesses, helping them to get more visible and make more money, because that's pretty much what marketing's about. Marketing covers a huge spectrum of different things, so we pretty much cover every single one of those things.
Okay, I'm going to have to get you to dig deeper there. So, because say I'm a business setting up, what marketing is, you're right, it's such a broad term.
There's
What could those different elements mean? What are those different ways? Because also I know that you work with people, you work with bigger businesses, but also smaller businesses as well, don't you? So what are the different flavors, I guess?
Yeah, so as an agency, we work with sort of two business models. So one is what we call corporates. So they're larger companies that either don't have a marketing team or they have a team but just need an extra pair of eyes or an extra piece of piece of work that needs doing for a specific project. And we tend to work with them on a retainer basis. And then we have the small business model, which is small individual business owners. Sometimes they just need some foundations, sometimes they just need some coaching, sometimes they just go, please help run our social media for us. And it's kind of taking away the pain sometimes of what people think is difficult with marketing, because it can be very overwhelming if it's not part of your world. And many people, I think, leave the corporate world or they set up in a business and they haven't had marketing or sales training. So we wear so many different hats that it's sometimes difficult to think, well, I need to do marketing, but I just don't know where to start. So that's kind of where we can come in. And sometimes it's as simple as a power hour where you just get me for an hour talking to you about your business. The one piece of advice I would always give everybody is to look at your strategy, because I think many small businesses start out by winging it. We all have. But comes a point where you've really got to get some structure in place if you want to grow and be sustainable, especially in cost of living crisis and building a pipeline, et cetera, et cetera. So it's really important to know where you're heading, why you do what you do and who you do it for and what your end business goals are, and then the marketing strategy comes from that. So in terms of marketing, then all the tactical bits and pieces that we do include things like your digital, your website development, your SEO, your social media management, email marketing, lead generation. I'm probably glazing over now. We also do events. My background's in events as well. And we touch on PR too. So it's a whole spectrum of different things. There's a jargon for it called full service. And that's kind of what we say, that we're a full service marketing agency. But the big thing that I stress when I'm doing my own marketing or to clients is that we're a marketing agency with integrity, because sometimes agencies can have a little bit of bad reputation. So, we will only work with people if we feel we can add value and make a difference.
Right. And so effectively you can be practically an outsourced marketing department for someone doing it all,
Yeah.
but like you say, on a retainer, and you're the marketing team basically on the phone.
Yeah.
But also, do you find maybe sometimes smaller businesses will, because cost is a challenge, so it'll be right, do you know what, can you do this little thing for me?
Yeah.
And then they
Yeah.
realize they need that thing, and then they realize that thing, and then you sort of have the need to point that they're all connected and it's maybe part of a larger thing.
Yeah, I think, back I've been in marketing 29 years. So, many moons ago, you may have been able to build a business through one or two different channels. Now it's multi-channel and has been for some time. So if you think about the big brands and some of their advertising campaigns, you will see if they're launching a big campaign, you'll see it on loads of different mediums. So it could be in print, it'll be in press, it'll be on social media, it'll be on billboards, it'll be in the tubes, it'll be, right the way across, because subconsciously we're taking all this content in all the time. And, I quoted before that you need between 30 to 50 touch points before you can get, someone to contact you. And that we're bombarded all the time with content. So it isn't just a case of pick up the phone, Yellow Pages, that's back in the day. It's not the case anymore. So, and that's where it can get quite overwhelming, but that's where having your strategy and really knowing your ideal client, that's one of the first things we do with clients, is sit down and go, right, who's your ideal client? And most people will go, well, it's women, or it's men, or it's
Anyone.
this kind of, yeah, anyone, because there's a kind of a bit of a fear of niching, because if I don't niche, am I going to lose out? You don't have to niche really, really down to the nth degree, but it's really important to know who you're serving and who you're helping. And the one key thing I say is you are normally your ideal client, because that's why you do what you end up doing, because you have a pain point, or you've got a talent in something. So you find your tribe, and they're quite often very similar to you. So by having that strategy and knowing your plan, that stops you from scattergunning and doing too much. I don't know how many social media platforms there are now. There's loads. I'm on most of them because of what I do, but I don't proactively use them all that much. I use basic ones that I know where my clients are. But you don't have to be on every single social media channel. TikTok's amazing for certain things, but you don't have to be on it if your clients are not on there. Same with this new one, Threads. It kind of blew up initially, and now it's kind of scaling down again. Who knows where it's going to go? But you've got to focus on where are your clients hanging out, and what content do they consume, and that's all part of the kind of marketing strategy going forward. So yeah, absolutely. Quite often we'll do a strategy session with somebody, and that's usually me one-on-one, and it'll then lead to, can you quote me for this? How do I do that? Can you actually help me put this into place? And we literally don't put you into contract. We always say that marketing is about consistency, because it absolutely is. So 3 to 6 months should be the minimum. But if you don't want to be, we don't contract you in. So if you want to opt out at any point, that's your call. I kind of keep it very fluid in that respect. Again, from an
great way of working. And I know you're very busy at the moment as well, aren't you, with new contracts, which is brilliant. So why did you join Athena? What is it now? 6-ish years ago, 7 years? Yeah. However long I've been a regional director. And how have you benefited? Because clearly you like where you are, and you've got your community, you've got your tribe. So tell us what you like about it and why you joined.
I think when I joined Athena, I think you were the second networking kind of group I'd gone into. And, I get my business through networking, social media referrals, not in that order, but that's how I get my business. And when you work for yourself, by yourself, with yourself, it can be quite lonely initially, and I'm a people person. So having that tribe around you, and I mentioned the tribe before, having those people around you for support, it isn't just about, I'm going to go to a networking meeting to get business, even though I think some people initially think that. But it's about relationships, and I'm all for building relationships, opening doors, opening conversations, because you don't know who they know. So you might not do business with people in the room, but they might have your absolute ideal client sitting in their inbox. You just don't know. So I think for me, it was a case initially when I first went self-employed back in 2016, I needed to build my network. I come from corporate, so I've gone from having a monthly paycheck to, oh God, I've now got to hustle and build my audience. And networking is a fantastic way of doing that. You're a fantastic networker, Kate, and I think you have helped generate business for me. So I think you got me a piece of business last year through speaking at a different event or putting me forward that has paid for my membership for about 4 years. So it does provide business, but it's also support. And I know now when I get clients coming to me going, actually, I need a photographer in so-and-so, or I need something. Do you know anyone? I'm like, yeah, great. Put a note out in the network groups, and someone comes in who I know is going to be good, because I trust that network, and I trust those people to recommend, decent business owners. So whole host of reasons, really. Sorry.
No sorry needed. We love having you part of the network. Definitely, it's always a pleasure to be in your meetings, for sure. And so what tip would you have for a woman starting their business now?
I would say be very clear on what it is you're doing and why you're doing it, going back to that planning, where I think sometimes when you first start out, you kind of just getting through the first sort of few weeks or first few months. Depending on your situation, financial situation, it's very easy just to accept any piece of work that comes through, because you're there to, you're worried about business coming in. But I think the more focused you are about your own worth and what it is that you're doing, and like I said, how you're serving other people and what the pain points are that you solve, then it's much easier to get the pricing points right. I think the pricing points are one of the hardest things to get right. And that's where knowing your market, knowing where your positioning is in the marketplace and competitors is really important. The one thing I would say is don't be afraid to outsource, because maybe not initially, but as you grow, we can't do everything ourselves. We are Wonder Women, of course we are, but also you're never going to scale. If that's something you want to do, you want to scale your business, you can't do it with one person. You need a team. You have to have a team. And that's a mindset shift, but it's something to work towards. So if you're just starting out, have that end goal, say in a year or 3 years, or however long you think it's going to be, in terms of how much money you need to be able to outsource things, because we can't do everything. You know, I'm not a website developer. I bring an amazing expert in to do that with me. You know, so anything that I can't physically do within my agency, I bring in experts to do that with me and the clients. So, you know, we can't be experts at everything. And you know, there's a great phrase that you don't know what you don't know, and you just surround yourself with good people. And I think that's something that I've had to get my head around, building that team. I've you know, worked with a lady for many years. She's absolutely fantastic. She's mum too, and she's on holiday at the moment, and I miss her.
And that's the thing, isn't it? We start a business because we know the thing we're good at the thing we do. So yes, it's good to learn all the aspects of the job and running a business, but at some point you've got to let them go, because you'll also, as well as growing, you'll lose the passion. Because I know someone who quit her business because of everything else that she had, all the admin, everything, the accounts, all of that stuff. So
absolutely. And I think if you're serious about growing, you've got to bring some of the corporate world into your own business. You know, the processes, the KPIs, the templates, operational procedures, all these kind of things that we're so used to talking about in the corporate world. The reason they're there is because they work. So if you're building a brand, if you want to, and maybe you don't want to, but if you want to build a brand that will eventually carry on after you step back, you have to have those foundations in place. Otherwise, you can never sell a business. The business is all about you. So I know at some point with me, you know, building an agency, I have to make myself redundant at some point, not now, but in the future, I need to build a strong enough team so that my brand will live on.
And you have a saleable asset. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, or you know, for my kids, etc. So yeah.
Exactly. So talking of that and futures, so tell us lastly what's next for you in the business, and also what have you got going on at the moment that people might want to get involved in?
In terms of the growth of the business, we hit 6 figures last year, which is fantastic, and that's turnover, not profit, being absolutely transparent. So multiple 6 figures is the next goal, and then eventually 7 figures, and that's building a team. Like I said, there's no way I can do 7 figures just me and even the guys I'm working with now. So we're looking at extending our services. So we still have what I call the bespoke marketing services, which predominantly tends to be with corporate companies, where we just go in and become their team, depending what it is they want. I just launched a small business package. Again, this is aimed at the very small businesses who just need that help, just need that kind of safety net, if you like. Someone to come in and go, we'll keep you ticking over, we'll keep you visible, so you know you've got things going on, and we're here as a sounding board, and we can give you a little bit of strategy. Then there's actual strategic VIP sessions that I do, which I've done quite a few now, and they're really great. And it's the bit that I love doing is sitting there opposite a business owner or corporate and just getting under their skin, because having another pair of eyes is not ingrained in the day-to-day of that business. He's got obviously skill sets in terms of strategic stuff is invaluable, because I'm not mired in the day-to-day, so I'm not politically involved in anything like that. And it's really, I did one recently where this individual business owner asked her what her mission and her vision was, and she literally came alive. You know, she was like, and I was like writing away, and we almost created a visual kind of the visual look for her, you know, revamping her visual identity just from her passion alone. And that's a bit I love, when you actually really kind of, you know, get into the skin of business owners. So yes, we've got those different things going on, and I work across all industry sectors. So very open to talking to anybody. My background is in leisure and hospitality and retail, but I work a lot in financial services profession, and profession really. So yeah, I'm just in the process of building my client base up and taking over the world, really.
Excellent. And we're here to cheer you on, our Magenta Tribe, and watch you and help you along the way, which is really exciting. Thank you for your lovely, kind words about Athena as well. That was, and me. That was really lovely to hear. And if you'd like to meet Elena virtually, then come along to her Woburn Athena group, which is the third Thursday of the month. But we've got other groups across Bedfordshire, Hertfordshire, Bucks, and so get in touch and I will point you in the right direction. Elena will put all her links and stuff in the comments wherever you're finding this, and I'll have tagged her, so you do get in touch and have a chat. Anyone I know in our network is not going to put a price tag on a chat, an initial chat. So do pick up the phone and just sound out what she does and how she can help you. But I look forward to seeing you at the next meeting, Elena, and at some of our in-person stuff in the autumn as well. But thanks so much for coming on and giving us your time and sharing what you do.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks, Kate.
You're welcome.